Howdy, Forrest here from Houghton Media. Today we're going to be doing some unboxings. In front of me I have the Ubiquiti Unify AP-AC Lite, and to go with it, an Edgerouter POE 5-port gigabit router also from Ubiquiti. They don't have their logo. Oh, it's an old logo. The older logo. I like that one. Anywho, this is my previous network. Normally it lives up here, but I recently had to take it down. And that's kind of a backstory in itself, but to kind of quickly summarize it up, essentially what happened is this was my router from before. It's a Netgear Nighthawk AC R7000, I believe. And it was a $200 router that I bought off of Walmart because I had originally had a different router and somehow managed to brick it. So I quickly ran to Walmart and I grabbed the Linksys one at first, and that was dead as soon as I booted up. So I packed it up, brought it right back, and exchanged it for this one. And it served me well for about a year until I wanted some more advanced configurations. So I loaded DDWRT onto it, and it worked for the configurations that I needed, but then all of a sudden some other things didn't work. And it got too annoying, so I ended up trying to revert back to the stock firmware. It said it successfully reverted back, and I kept before I upgraded it to DDWRT, I saved the configuration file in case this happened and I wanted to restore it back to the original. So I restored it back to the original, and then all of a sudden it lost the GUI. I was able to log into it once, and then it lost the GUI. I couldn't telnet into it, I couldn't SSH into it, or anything. It doesn't show up anywhere. When I had my desktop computer here and my NAS plugged into it, this pulled a 192.168.20 something address, and this one pulled a 192.168.10 something address, which boggles my mind because they're plugged into the same ports, and it should have been no configuration. So at that point I said to myself, you know what, forget this consumer grade stuff, I'm going to get some business class stuff, and that's why I went with Ubiquiti. I've heard of them before, I did a ton of research into it. They seem to be more user-friendly than the higher-end super business class stuff like the Cisco and Juniper, which is when I went to college to program some of those kinds of equipment. But this seemed a little bit more user-friendly. I love the OS, the look of the OS that these run, the Unify controller and the Edge OS, I believe, for the router. It just looks super nice and sleek, and they give you a lot of statistics on stuff. You can keep track of everything. Really nice. So yeah, and one minor point, the reason why I have all this out, like all my hard drives out of my NAS and stuff, is when my network is down, I like to shut everything down, take it up off the shelf, and blow all the dust out of it, clean it all out, so that when I do get it fixed, everything will be running nicely. So that's what that's for. So, to get back to this unboxing video, I'm kind of sidetracked there, but I wanted to tell you the reason why I got this stuff is I'm going to start off with the Edge router. So let's take this thing. So it's actually smaller than I thought it would be, which I suppose is kind of nice. I'll get to a review video of it, or an overview video, and then a review video. And let me just, I'm kind of getting off sidetrack again here. Just to reiterate, because I had a couple of videos before, and it seemed like people are getting confused about the difference between my review videos and the overview videos. Let me get this straight. The overview videos that I do just pretty much tell you the technical specifications of whatever product I'm overviewing. Then my review video is after I've used it for a little bit. That's my opinion about it. It's nothing that's, it can be factual in some sense, but it's mostly opinions about the product. I did a review video a while ago on a speaker, and it seemed like some people really didn't like it because I was honest about it, and they're like, oh yeah, well, why don't you tell technical specs and all that instead of stating your opinion? And I was like, well, that's what the overview video is for, which I did have it on that speaker specifically. So now that that's clarified, here is an unboxing, just the unboxing of the Edgerouter. So I have to do this one-handed, unfortunately, because let's see if I can get it out. Put it this way, and just off like that. There we go. Yeah, pretty standard packaging. And the box. And let's see what this thing looks like. Come on. Just kind of stuck there. There we go. Ta-da! So it comes with a little quick start guide. Kind of nice. And here is the router. Dun dun dun. So it has 5 Ethernet ports, ETH 0 through 4, and those can be configured pretty much any way you want. And then you have a console port, and that's for configuring the router, but we'll probably be using the web GUI. Edgerouter POE on top, and on the back just the power supply input and a ground screw. And nothing on the sides. And then some more info on the back and mounting holes for that. So let's see what else is in here. I'm going to put this off to the side, over there. And here we have the IEC to the power supply. And last but not least, the power supply. Just standard power supply. It is 48 volt, 1.25 amps power supply. And then it comes with a little set of screws for mounting it on your wall, which I'm probably not going to do. I'm just going to have it sit up there with all my other network stuff. And I think that is it. Yep, that is it. Let me move these boxes out of the way here. Let's have it backwards. So yeah, that is it. So once I'm done with this, I'll do a review, an overview video, which just states the specs, and then after some use, some configuration, I'll do a review video on how I feel about it. So yeah, and in my next unboxing video, I'll unbox the Ubiquiti AP. Alrighty, have a good one.